180 the whole year.
Okay, I'd like to call caucus to order. We have a couple pieces of legislation here. I think this first one, I don't believe that the BPA has not passed a resolution on the first one. So you guys want to go first reading on number 1 tonight? Okay. The second one is an ordinance authorizing the village of Lordstown to settle a pending dispute with Michelle Mercer. That one's from the Public Safety and Police Department Committee. Any discussion on that?
Yes, that one we feel should be passed.
Past emergency?
Yes, get it over with.
Third one from street sidewalks, public parks, buildings, grounds, general improvements, and ordinance amending and restating ordinance 44-2025, authorizing the village to amend the agreement with Trumbull County Engineer with the amount of salt that was purchased in, I think, the amount to, do we know how, what are we changing in that? That was the, it wasn't the amount per ton, it was, there was.
We found out we could order 15% more, just to be safe at that same price of $49.
Okay.
And then there was a surcharge. It wasn't in the original ordinance because they didn't have one until the last load. So we had that language in it for a surcharge.
Okay. All right, so we know what's going on.
Will that carry us through, you think?
Oh, yeah. I think we'll be fine.
Lamar, it's going to be 60 degrees tomorrow.
We're still in February.
I know.
We got our order in. The dome's pretty full right now. But we are able to order that additional at the same price.
All right, good.
Okay. All right.
I hope you're right.
I know. I hope it stays this way. Number 4 is from council as a whole, a resolution opposing First Energy Corp proposed company-wide reliability performance standards changes in filed in case something 24-1112 before the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio, affirming the importance of enforceability. So this is basically just stating that we are again
Changing the standards, and that needs to be passed emergency tonight.
It has to be by the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
okay, and so that has to be submitted directly to the PUCO. I think.
So the clerk, we need to send certified copies to them. It's in section 4 of the resolution where the copies will go.
Okay, and so you want that passed emergency tonight?
It has to be filed by the 25th.
That's the 27th.
On Friday.
Maybe you're going to have to come up after the meeting and sign that legislation. So I can take care of it in the morning.
So you can get it delivered. Okay, don't let me forget. Any questions on the bill? All right, I want to, under caucus, brief discussion here about the recordings of the meeting. It was my understanding that council bought the equipment and wanted all the public meetings here in this room recorded to be put on the YouTube. So that would be the council meetings, BPA meetings, Board of Zoning Appeals meetings, and the Planning Commission meetings. Was that everybody's understanding? I just want to make sure, because what is the BPA going to do? You guys
start recording.
You are going to, okay, because the last one wasn't recorded. So all right, so that was the understanding, is that all the meetings would be recorded, not just council meetings, right?
That's
So,
right.
okay, I want to make sure, so when we do Planning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, that they are or aren't recorded, depending on what you guys wanted. All right, and then electric aggregation. I went home today and got my mail and got a notice from Energy Harbor that the current plan is expiring. Come on in, Larry. Come on in. Just want to make sure everybody knows what's there.
Reset Larry. Larry, what part of that discussion today did you and I'm sorry, Bill?
You see that red light on over there? Okay, so the Energy Harbor, the 12-month term is expiring. So I need for the utility committee to look into that if you want to.
I forwarded the email to Mark for the utilities committee. It was from Tom Bellish, so that's something we need to start looking at ahead of time instead of
Yeah.
closer till.
because this ends in April,
Yeah.
so we want to make sure that we are doing something before that. So Tom did email?
Yes.
Okay, all right, you've got that
Forwarded
taken
on,
care of.
yep.
Okay, caught me by surprise, I didn't realize it had
Yep.
already been almost a year. Mark, your legislation, I think, are you gonna take it back? You had mentioned, or you had circulated some legislation that you wanted to bring in.
We said he would address it next meeting and we just go through.
Okay, so you're gonna take that back to the moratorium. Okay, all right, I wasn't sure if you were gonna bring that in, or not. Okay, so that takes care of that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And then the .gov platform, it was brought to my attention that we need to transition to a .gov platform. Is the clerk's office doing anything?
.gov, that's set up by Travis. .gov.
No.
No, that's a different thing.
So
What's
right
that
now
for?
we're using lordstown.com, and eventually we need
For email?
yeah, for email, for our website, for our whole platform.
Yes.
Are you guys taking care of that, or do you want me to look into IT companies to help us start that transition? I want to start on that sooner rather than
Let
later.
me see what Cindy's doing and then I'll send
Okay.
you. We were talking about that.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's kind of where
Lordstown.com is the website.
Yes.
And that's, a domain that we pay for.
Mhm.
And Eric Jess.
Yeah.
From Web Management Services or something like that. I don't know what the name, I'm not really sure what the name of his company is, to be honest. But he's the webmaster. Lordstownvillage.com is different. That's the email.
Yes,
We have one too, lordstownpd.com, which Eric, she's talking about Eric,
he does
manages
PD
ours
too.
as well.
Okay.
And he's very good. We
Yeah.
haven't had any, you have good time with him, right?
Haven't had any
About that.
We need, I can contact him and see if that's something, like, we need somebody to help us make that apply for the .gov domain through the government. I can't think of who it is or which website, but we have to apply for that and we have to be approved for that. From
And he may be able
my
to help with
research.
that, because I know that he does other municipalities, just to
Okay.
give you an idea.
Yeah, so everything would have to be .gov eventually. All right, do you have you can send me his
I
contact
will
info?
absolutely send you his contact on
Okay.
email.
I'll ask him some questions and see what he says, if that's something we can do.
to change.
I think it is a mandate. I think Cindy had mentioned that is a mandate for us, that everybody has to go to that eventually.
How much time do we have to do that?
I don't know.
Is it June?
I thought she said this summer. So, yeah, I don't really wanna
Not sure
wait.
it's gonna be an easy transition,
I know that there's
but he
grants.
may be able to describe that better.
Okay. There's supposedly, I mean, Ohio was offering grants. I think it was Ohio was offering grants to help with that transition because of that mandate, but I think the application deadline is in March. So I don't know that we'll be able to meet that deadline, but I can look into that too for some more information. Maybe we can get, hey, even if it's a little bit of money to help with that, I'll take it. Does anybody have anything else? I was trying to run through it all in caucus to save Deb when she has to.
Bill, did you get the recorder, the tape recorder?
Yeah.
You know what to do, right?
Hello? Hour on. And record.
Yeah, so go ahead. You want to bring it down here? That way you can pick up some of these folks. Lots of Bill clearing his throat. There we go. All right. Anything else for caucus? All right. Caucus is adjourned. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting. Please stand and join me for the Lord's Prayer and Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy will be done.
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive our trespasses. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Mr. Vaughn,
Here.
Mr. Lyman, Ms. White,
Here.
Mr. Radke,
Present.
Mr. McGrail,
Present.
Mr. Mosley,
Here.
Clerk Blank present, Treasurer George Epley.
Here.
Solicitor Matt Reeves.
Here.
Police Chief Brett Milhoff.
Present.
Fire Chief Travis Easton.
Present.
Planning and Zoning Administrator Kelly Boardman.
Present.
Street Commissioner Martin Albert.
Present.
Board of Public Affairs.
Present.
Engineer Chris Jones.
Present.
I have a motion for adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Bank,
Second.
second by Lyming. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Can I have a motion for disposal of the minutes for the regular council meeting, February 2nd, 2026?
So moved.
Motion by Radka, second by Vaughn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Can I have a motion for payment of the bills? Motion by Lyming,
Second.
second by Vaughn. Any questions on the bills? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Mayor's report. Tonight we have one resignation to accept, one new hire for the fire department. And I just wanted to briefly mention that Mark and I had attended an informational session at the regional chamber regarding data centers, and it was a very informative session, I would say, and probably nonpartisan in that it really wasn't trying to sway you one way or the other. It was pretty neutral, and Mark and I are trying to share that. We've shared that information with council members. Just some notes that I had taken in the slides, so hopefully everybody was able to look through those. But if you're interested, I can reach out to Zachary and have him join us. Maybe I'm going to ask him if he would be interested in joining us, like in a caucus session. If you guys had questions for him, maybe that's something that he would do because he is in Indiana. Do you think that that would be beneficial? Would you have questions that you would want to ask, or did you see anything in those slides that you didn't understand that I could have him, maybe clarify? Do you think that this would be beneficial? I mean, it really was neutral. It really was not trying to sway us one way or another. It was trying to give us the information that we needed to make good decisions and, zoning changes, things like that to help us get ahead of things instead of behind and being reactive. So is that something that you guys might be interested in? If not, you can say no, I don't want to waste anybody's time, but.
No, I don't even see any of that. You guys?
I mean, even if it helps you make a better informed decision is really what I'm going for, just to make sure that we're making informed decisions with, hard facts. So, I mean, it's just any kinds of questions that you might have for him, he's been there, he's done that, he's seen the data centers, he's worked with them. Up to you. What do you think, Mark?
I enjoyed his presentation. He's very informative and very engaging. So you were able to ask questions as he went through it. So I think people might be surprised once you might think right offhand, no, I don't even see that, or I know. But once you start seeing the presentation, I think.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'll ask him. I don't know if it's something that he would do, but it's just, something if you guys were interested. And if not him, then, maybe somebody else. Did you have somebody that you knew maybe?
I had a consultant that we brought up at the last moratorium committee meeting.
Okay.
considering reaching out to him, you know, for his expertise on dealing with data centers and zoning issues.
Even something like that, you know, just somebody who has the expertise to bring that in to help you make informed decisions, I think is what's important.
Well, Mark, do you think that there would be beneficial, being you and the mayor sat through that presentation? You think it would be beneficial for the rest of the council to be exposed to it?
For me, it was because, you don't know, first of all, I don't know everything there is to know about a data center and the pros and the cons. So, there was a lot of information for thought. You know, because eventually we're going to have that decision or discussion here in Lordstown about data centers. It would be better if you had more information than less. And like I said, he was very engaging, easy to ask questions to, and the information was pretty much straightforward.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was biased at all. I mean, it was very factual, and made sense. You know, even we asked questions about, you know, abatements, and he was honest. He said, yes, you know, most of these data centers have asked for 100% abatement. You know, and then if that's the case, then what can you do to offset that if that's really what they want? It's going to be a negotiating process. So, you know, there was things like that he said, and he was very forthcoming with information like that. So I'd like to set that up. If not him, then maybe, you know, somebody else. But just to be able to say that we have done that, we understand a data center, you know, we get where they're coming from, and know what questions to ask, I think is what's important, knowing which questions to ask when they're in front of you. So, all right, that's all that I have. Clerk's report.
No report.
Solicitor's report.
The only thing I would add to what you just said is we do have a case, you know, with the data center pending in the Ohio Supreme Court right now. There's nowhere to appeal depending on how the Ohio Supreme Court rules. If for some reason the Ohio Supreme Court disagrees with our position, having that presentation may be beneficial to the village to be kind of ahead of the game at the table with the data center rather than trying to play catch up if we have to comply with an order of the Supreme Court. Because there's a number of things the Supreme Court could do, but we would at least be kind of ahead of the game at that point, depending on what the Supreme Court rules.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Yeah, we won't have much time to react if that's the case.
Maybe there's something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reach out to him to see. All right, anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
No report.
Board of Trustees, Public Affairs report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We have a meeting between MVSD, NOWS, and Western Utilities Committee tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then our next regular meeting is March 3rd.
Okay.
And we may have a special meeting in between there, we're not sure.
Okay. But tomorrow is a special meeting?
Correct.
Okay. At 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Village Engineers report.
Thank you, Mayor. I've distributed a written report to everybody. As Chris said, we'll be participating in that meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. with everybody. We have a number of we have one project that's going into construction. It's going to be advertised soon. That's the water booster station. Matt, is there any update on the master funding agreement with Foxconn?
So I spoke to the attorneys about what we discussed, giving us the control over the project, basically, set it up as a more streamlined funding mechanism. And the attorneys were okay with that approach because it creates less obligations for them and it gives us more control anyway. So I revised the agreement and I sent it over to them and
Thank you. We still need to complete that RUMA for TEC, and I haven't heard anything from Mr. Harvey, so I'm probably going to be reaching out to him again to talk about that. And we've done everything that's needed on the Lintz Road resurfacing project by submitting the OPWC small governments information, so that one is going in the right track.
on State Route 45 for the, shoulders, Lamar. We recently heard that ODOT is pulling back that HSIP funding. So we were thinking to utilize that HSIP funding, in conjunction with OPWC funding to redo that. We're gonna have to find out another funding program to, meet up with the OPWC. So that's happening.
How much was OPWC gonna pay, you think? Or could they pay?
Typically on a project like this one involves reconstruction probably of those shoulders. It might get a few more points. You're probably looking at 40%. So we'll have to do traffic counts. We'll have to really get some support on that from the neighboring commercial establishments, which I know we can. Ohio State capital budget is now available. The due date is March 12th. So I've looked at a number of projects that we've, been thinking about over the past couple of years, namely the State Route 45 shoulders, even the second phase of the 24-inch water line, Chris, and even the 5 sanitary sewer extensions. Unfortunately, the state capital budget is not eligible for that. State capital budget is for a lot of recreation, parks, and that sort of thing. So if that's something that you are interested in, I could send that to you. It really deals with community improvements rather than rebuilding infrastructure or anything like that. But I can send you the one-page sheet that shows what's eligible, what's not, and you can determine for yourself. But right now, I don't see anything unless you really want to do something with parks. At one point in time, we did. So that's all I have for my report. Is there any questions for me?
What's the valve number 4 repair? Is that one of those new valves?
It is.
That we're repairing already?
Yep.
Why is that?
It happened last month, Lamar. The valve body cracked again.
It froze or pressure cracked it or what?
We do not know. We suspect it was a forging error with the casting, because it cracked at the same location on the valve body. So we've already got that being addressed by the valve manufacturer. The replacement valve, I think, has been delivered to the contractor, Carrilla Construction, and they're to be installing that. This is for the air release valve just east of the railroad tracks on Salt Springs Road.
So what's the warranty on that?
1 year.
What, just the valve? We got to pay to do all the replacement and everything?
You don't have to do anything.
Anything?
It's within the warranty.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of going through a public construction contract. That's kind of why we mentioned doing that for Halleck-Young Road. You're under a traditional delivery. You have terms and conditions that you can rely on. And sometimes if you want, you can make that warranty period 2 years. So this it really requires some discussion when you want to do an infrastructure project. It's specifically got equipment.
Very good.
Thank you.
Special reports, Police Chief Brent Milhone.
I have no report tonight, Mayor.
Fire Chief Travis Houston.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Planning and Zoning Administrator Kelly Bordner.
No report.
Parks, Grounds, Building, Street Superintendent Martin Elder.
Yes, Mayor. I only had one thing. I talked to Cole from Cole Creative Design about the veterans flag. We wanted to kind of get that started this year earlier. We were going to try to start February 23rd through April 24th. The veterans flag will be $80 which is the same price as last year. If any resident wants to purchase one, I have the information. They can contact me and, I'll give them all the information to contact Cole. And, then we'll hang them up for, Memorial Day through Labor Day. We'll hang them. That's all I have.
Okay. And then can I get a copy of that application? Or
Sure.
put it out on social media and,
Will they be two-sided again?
Yeah, they're two-sided. I don't know what happened with that.
okay. There's no option to make them,
I can check.
could it be two-sided with the same person on both sides so that you could see it going either way?
Will it be two-sided with both your family members on one?
For sure.
Okay. I think that the family members want the flags, and I think that's why.
Sure, I understand.
Okay. Check on that for me.
No one likes sharing mine.
Yep. I'll check.
Thank you.
Okay. Correspondence.
No correspondence.
All right, public remarks. Council remarks. Quiet today. Committee reports. Finance, Jessica Blank.
Yeah, just I would like to see the resolution be passed emergency. It's the same one that, Warren City brought in and passed, so we need to get that done.
All right, Parks, Buildings, Grounds, General Improvements, Streets and Sidewalks, Jamie Mosley.
I have no reports.
Public Safety and Police Department, Robert Vaughn.
We have one piece of legislation like to see passed tonight. And that's it. Thank you.
Public Safety, Fire, and EMS, Lamar Lyman.
No report.
Public Utilities, Mark McGrail.
No report, but, again, as Chris mentioned, there's a joint meeting with EPA and Utility Committee tomorrow.
Okay. Do you have anything for the moratorium committee?
No report.
Okay. Planning and Zoning, Ron Radka.
Yes, Mayor. Last week we had our first meeting of the year. It's kind of a catch up of what's happened over the past year or 25. Kind of get me and Mark up to speed. What's going to be going on in the zoning and planning office. One thing that we are going to be bringing through is the rear yard usage amount. Going to have some changes, some increases in that, so that'll be coming through. And then we also discussed the comprehensive plan. And need to get with the rest of council to see what their thoughts are of if we want to proceed with that and if we want to send that out for bid or what we want to do with it. So that'll be coming in the future. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Legislation?
From Board of Public Affairs for emergency passage. An ordinance authorizing the Village of Lordstown to settle a pending sanitary sewer dispute with Imperial Communities, Inc. and declare an emergency.
Okay. Are there any motions? All right, I declare that this has had its first reading. Second piece?
From Public Safety and the Police Department Committee for emergency passage. An ordinance authorizing the Village of Lordstown to settle a pending dispute with Michelle Mercer and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association in connection with case number 250813-08732, for federal mediation and Constellation Service Agency